What's going on, guys? Welcome back to F1 2021 for my team career mode, round number 4 of season 2, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We start this one off with a engine upgrade coming through for our powertrain, so that's always good. We're going to put an upgrade to the halo on for aerodynamics. I'm also going to put stage 2 of build time on aerodynamics. I just want to get these facilities going a bit. And we're also going to go through and do a few little activities here to fill out our time. Mainly just a few little kind of morale boost things for some facilities, and yeah, just a few little things going on here. I think I actually go for this one here as well, which unfortunately decreases the morale for a couple of well, for all of the facilities, but two of those facilities we're going to boost up even more because of other activities, and yeah, it's not really going to make a difference. Somebody suggested that I show you guys my setups for races, so here you go. I'm just going to skim through it here. I'm not going to talk over it. If you want to actually look at what the setup is, you can pause at the times that you want, but this is a setup I'm going to be using for Azerbaijan, for Baku, and yeah, I'll probably do this for the rest of the season and up until Monaco next season, so then you've seen all my setups. So yeah, on to Q1. Now, going into this race, we are the 4th quickest car on the grid, apparently. I don't know if that's where we were in Monaco. We might have been 5th there, but here we are rapidly making our way up the grid. We're actually ahead of McLaren on R&D now, so we are really in the thick of it, and this is our chance to get through to Q3. We haven't got through to Q3 yet. Alonso got through to Q3, I think it was actually in Bahrain, or it might have been Spain, as he goes quickest in Q1, so blistering time from Alonso there, obviously showing that we've got pretty good pace in the car. I'm down in P11, but, you know, wasn't the best lap from me, that's for sure. As we go on to Q2, and sure enough, I do manage to get through to Q3, so this would be my first time in Q3, but we look at the Q2 lap first. This was probably my best lap of the 3 sessions. Q1 was, you know, getting used to the track a bit more, you know, starting off. Q2, I really pushed hard and got a good lap. My Q3 lap wasn't actually the best. It was only about a 10th off. Well, actually, I don't even think it was a 10th off. It was like only like half a 10th off this time. But it did feel like a much scrappier lap. I obviously did better in some places, but definitely had some scrappy sections for sure. But my Q2 time is good enough to get me through to Q3 as Sergio Perez goes quickest. Fernando Alonso, though, after going quickest in Q1, is out in Q2, P11. He only just doesn't make it through, so that's disappointing. He's already made it through to Q3 once this season, I'm pretty sure. I think it was in Bahrain or Spain. And yeah, this is our first time through, and he unfortunately doesn't get through. So yeah, Q3, we're going to show you the whole lap here because it was about the same speed as my Q2 lap. But as you can see here, just clipping the curbs a little bit too much, I think. But like I said, I must have just made up some time elsewhere because, or the time I was losing wasn't as, you know, as bad as I thought it was, because this was still a decently quick lap time from what I remember. And yeah, so for future, I will, when I get through to Q3, no matter how bad the lap is, I probably will show you the full Q3 lap, because ultimately that is the lap that is going towards the grid, I suppose, you know, gridding up. So yeah, first time in Q3, I was looking forward to this, you know, get more running on the track, which is always good. Baku is one of my favourite tracks on the game. I just really do quite enjoy this track. It's got the big straights, I mean some of the biggest straights on the calendar, but it's also got these really twisty sections like the castle section that we just went through. It is a very tricky track and a demanding track for sure, but then you get a break on the big straights. However, you can't have too much, you can't kind of sit back too much on the straights, because very easy for people to get DRS off you and just fly past you on this big straight here. So it's definitely not a track that you get to relax for too much, but it is a track that I really do enjoy. It's probably one of my favorites on the calendar. So we come towards the end of this lap here, onto the last DRS zone here. Lots and lots of speed, over 210 miles an hour I think that is, going down the straight, and it's a very good time. Max Verstappen goes quicker, so he's going to be on pole position. The Red Bulls showing some good pace here after not being that great this season so far. Same with the McLarens, actually in 2nd and 3rd, and we qualify in P6.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home of course to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, Many are expecting a safety car here today, so our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully away from the barriers. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Perez, Lewis Hamilton, Shaw, Leclerc, Sainz, Giovinazzi and Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Lundgaard, Esteban Ocon and Russell, Vettel, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas, Latifi, Mazepin, Stroll and Mick Schumacher. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Alright, so here we go, going to 5 red lights for the 2022 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and it is a pretty quick light out here as we get off underway, furthest up the grid we've ever been. It's not the best start from us, and then I brake a little bit too early. Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari manages to get around the outside of us, but we just about managed to fend him off. The cars ahead are blitzing away. We've got McLarens, we've got Mercedes, and we've got Red Bulls up at the front. The two McLarens doing a very good job here, but Max Verstappen seems to have got a blistering start. You can see him way up the grid there. He has really got a great start here with the two McLarens behind him. Hamilton has managed to jump Perez off the start, so it's a good start for him. The Mercedes don't look particularly quick here in qualifying pace. They didn't really have the qualifying pace. I mean, Hamilton qualifying P5, Giovinazzi down in P9, and actually looking there, Fernando Alonso started P10 thanks to, I think, Pierre Gasly getting a grid penalty. So he started in P10 and actually has managed to jump Giovinazzi off the line, so he's up into P9 now. We've pretty much just stayed where we are behind Sergio Perez at this current point in time. As you can see on the mini-map down the bottom left there, Verstappen has got a big healthy lead over the McLarens of, well, first of all, it's Daniel Ricciardo who's managed to jump Lando Norris off the line. As we go through this section, we've got Carlos Sainz behind us. Seems like a lot of people jumping a lot of other people, because I believe Leclerc was in front of Sainz on the grid, but now Sainz is the car ahead, and we are just having to be careful going around here. We're getting it a little bit wide, and we're losing quite a bit of time to Perez up ahead. That Red Bull does look mighty quick on this track. You can see from Verstappen's pace, and Perez is also doing very well. Hamilton also seems to be doing a pretty good job now. Maybe that Mercedes better in race trim than it is in quali trim. As we head onto lap 3, we're still trying to catch the cars ahead. Sainz is kind of still there behind us, but he's not putting up a massive threat. Now the Ferrari on R&D, they are the 3rd quickest car behind Mercedes and Red Bull. McLaren are the 5th quickest car behind us. However, it seems on this circuit, McLaren have the pace over us and over Ferrari and possibly even Mercedes. I think Red Bull are the quickest. However, we go through lap 4 here onto lap 5, and Max Verstappen has an engine issue. He is out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix as the two McLarens go to take the lead. That is awful for Max Verstappen as we go past him on the inside into turn 2. Devastating stuff for Verstappen. He's not had a great start to the season. Red Bull have not been that competitive. He finally has a great race here, and he looked like he was going to take a pretty comfortable win, but unfortunately, a mechanical failure means he's out of the race, which means Daniel Ricciardo leads the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from Lando Norris in 2nd. It's a McLaren 1-2. Where have we seen this before? very recently with the Italian Grand Prix in real life, and further back from that we have Charles Leclerc trying to size up a move on Fernando Alonso, my teammate. He's going to the inside of, what is that, turn 3 I believe. However, he can't quite get it done. Alonso's managing to make it work. Alonso actually on the medium tyres as we come into the pits on lap 5, go a little bit too deep there. Alonso's on the medium tyres, not starting in the top 10, so for him to be doing as well as he is very, very good. The soft tyres here do not last that long, so we're pretty quickly 5 laps in onto a set of soft tyres, and onto a set of medium tyres, sorry, and we are probably going to do another stop onto another set of mediums later on. As we come out of the pits, Nikita Mazepin is on our outside. He's trying to fight us, and I don't really know why, because we're on completely different strategies. We are much quicker. He's on medium tyres, but we're on fresh medium tyres, and sure enough, we can just out drag him down the straight. We got the DRS, thankfully, and yeah, it's not really an issue with Mazepin there. As we continue now on to lap number 7, and I believe some more cars come out in front of us of the pits. Lando Norris just come out of his pit stop there. He's actually fallen behind Hamilton, and I believe Perez as well is up ahead. So Hamilton and Perez have managed to get the undercut done on Lando Norris. So it's now Daniel Ricciardo in the effective race lead with, I believe, Perez in second, or is that Latifi? I think Perez is ahead of Latifi. And then Hamilton, Norris is the, and then myself is the kind of effective top like 5 there. As we go through on lap number 7, coming towards the end here, looking at Lando Norris. He's trying to get past Nicholas Latifi. He's not made his stop yet. Goes around the outside of him, and now I'm catching up as well. We get the DRS, and look at the closing speed on Latifi. It's ridiculous. Norris is trying to get up the inside of Lewis Hamilton. He's just about done it, and we're going to go around the outside of Hamilton as well. Perhaps go a little bit too far off track there in real life. Probably would get a penalty for that, but Hamilton is keeping it on the inside. He's not letting the position go easily, but we just about managed to get it. We've got the DRS still from Lando Norris, who's managed to push his way up ahead a little bit now. But that was a great little battle there, and the closing speed on Latifi was ridiculous. As we continue on here, lap number 9, Hamilton is trying to find his way past me, but can't quite do it. Like I said, those Mercedes are not as quick as you'd perhaps think they are. As we now come around, Fernando Alonso has made his pit stop. He's just coming out of the pits now. Here he is, and he's going to come out just behind Lewis Hamilton. So Alonso seems to be on a pretty good strategy here. He's onto another set of mediums though, which means that he's going to have to make another stop. Don't know if he would have really been able to make it going mediums to hards, but that's what he went for with the 2 mediums, and potentially onto maybe a set of softs for the end of the race. We'll see how it goes for him. Hamilton is trying to get around us though, but we are just hugging the inside through turn 1, and then through turn 2, a little bit of a brush against the wall on the right there, which perhaps slows our momentum down a little bit, but it's not my momentum that's really the problem, as Fernando Alonso is now sizing up Lewis Hamilton but can't quite do anything. Hamilton, or that might have been me, I'm not sure, locks up a little bit into turn 3, and Hamilton is just hooked up behind Alonso now, trying to see if he can find a way past, but he can't quite do anything just yet. But yeah, I mean, this just shows that our car has good pace, and Alonso has good pace here, as we are currently running 4th and 6th. So yeah, good positions for us at the moment. And we continue on here, and we're still getting pressure from Hamilton behind, but not as much as he is getting pressure from Alonso. And once again here, Hamilton does not get a great one out of the corner. He's not that close to me either. And Alonso is going to try and go around the outside into turn 3. He's gone for it around the outside of the Mercedes, and he's got the position done. TGL Motorsport car has overtaken a Mercedes around the outside. It wasn't me that did it. It was Alonso that did it, but you know what? That is really, really good still. And actually, Giovinazzi's managed to catch up as well. He's now right up the back of Hamilton. Hamilton either getting caught up by us or just really not showing good pace here, to be honest, for what you'd expect. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with him here. We get it a little bit wrong coming out of the fast corner there onto the back or front straight, I suppose, and Alonso has now got the run on us. He's got the DRS. I'm not going to fight it too much. He's my teammate and he's got the DRS, so I'm not going to fight it really. I'm going to let Alonso go past, and he is now the lead car perhaps he can go chase down Norris and Perez up ahead, because he seems to have very good pace here. Onto lap number, what is this, 14 here, and we've got Pierre Gasly does a beautiful little around the outside, well, it's on the straight, but a nice little overtake on Charles Leclerc there. So Leclerc falling back a little bit. Carlos Sainz is way back. I don't really know what happened to him, but he's fallen a fair way down the order. We now have Lando Norris trying to regain a position here, or is it the other way round? Is it Perez trying to get past? No, I think it is Norris as he goes around the outside, but they're still side by side, Perez and Norris. However, Norris has got that second place back that was taken from him earlier from Perez and Hamilton's undercut. He's now back into second place to continue the McLaren 1-2. This is literally Italy 2021 vibes, which is the most recent race as of recording this. So it's awesome to see Ricciardo and Norris up at the front with Perez as well, which, you know, is like it was in Italy. As we carry on here, lap number, 15, I believe, we have actually got a pretty decent gap to Hamilton behind at this point, but then now it's Giovinazzi behind us. We've still got a big gap to him as we are now coming into the pits. I believe Hamilton may have come in the lap before, so he's potentially going to try and get an undercut on us here as we come into the pits, and we're going on to our second and final set of medium tyres. So I'm hoping that Alonso is probably going to come in quite late onto a set of softs. You need to, in F1 you need to use two different types of tyres, so it's interesting. But as we see in the top left there, Alonso's come in and he's gone onto a set of hard tyres, which is really weird. So he's gone medium, hard. Really don't know. Obviously he didn't think that he could go with softs right at the end and needed to have a different set of tyres, so hards was the only options. But as we look here, it was very close on the pit exit for Hamilton and Alonso. They actually get a little bit of contact with each other. Hamilton brushes the wall, and that's actually going to give Hamilton a tiny little bit of wing damage, and he's going to come into the pit, so Hamilton's race potentially just been ruined.
Okay, there appears to be an issue. We're currently investigating.
And that is not what I wanted to hear at all. We're in a great position here. We're currently P5, and my engineers just come over the radio to say we've got an issue. I was waiting to find out when this was going to happen. We haven't had a DNF since Zandvoort last season, I believe, so what is this?
We can confirm that it's an issue with our engine. Good news, it looks like the fault has been fixed.
Okay, we might be safe here. Engine issue, but seems to have been fixed straight away, so hopefully we're going to be good here, because like I said, I think it was Zandvoort, which was like round 11 last season that we last had a DNF, so it's been quite a while. Then we go on though to lap 20, and Perez is looking to get back past Lando Norris. These three cars very close to each other. He's wanting to get the position done, but there's possibly yellow flags up ahead, and that's Lando Norris. He's now got a mechanical failure. Perez has found his way past. As you can see there, Norris in a plume of smoke has pulled to the side of the road, off the slip road, and that's Lando Norris out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Another front runner destined for a podium, potentially even a win. He was right there with Ricciardo, is now out of the race. So that's two heavy hitters out of this race. What is going on here? I mean, we had a bit of a scare as well with our engine problems, so it's honestly turning out to be a pretty insane race. That, however, does mean that we are now in P3. We are currently on the verge of getting our first podium in this career mode series. So I'm trying really hard here, but I'm not going to lie, the car was not feeling great at this point. But we go on to the end of lap 22. Sergio Perez is now on the back of Daniel Ricciardo. He now doesn't have his teammate to help him out, and Perez goes round the outside on the straight into turn 1 and is into the race lead. I would have loved to see Daniel Ricciardo take his first victory in this career mode, but unfortunately right now Perez has taken the lead back again. And will Ricciardo fight back? We'll have to wait and see. We though are trying to defend from Giovinazzi, with Hamilton pretty much out of this race, having to come in for a third pit stop for a slight front wing change. He's now way down the order. You can see there he's in like P14. So not really a lot he's going to do, but we've got Giovinazzi, the Mercedes, behind us now. He actually goes to the inside here, but we're going to brake very, very late into turn 1, go quite wide. And once again, we're kind of going off the track a bit there in real life. And if I had it on strict corner cutting, I'd probably get a penalty for that, but we're just going to leave it. It's fun racing. I really wanted this podium, and we are just going to have to fight this for the last couple of laps because it feels like my tyres are going off. Giovinazzi is definitely the quicker car at the moment, and especially down the straight here, I have no DRS to work with, as this time going on to the final lap of the race, he manages to get past me into turn 1, but I'm not too bothered because I know there's a DRS zone coming up after turn 2, and if I can't get him here, then there's a good chance I will be able to get him on the run to the line. However, it's calling it a little bit close, but I'm going to just give it a shot, and I'm going to go for the move here. We have so much more speed with the DRS and the ERS that I'm going to go around the outside. He tries to stick it on the inside, but he's not quite able to keep it there, and we're back up into P3. We now just have to bring it to the end. However, also going on to the final lap of the race, further down the grid, Esteban Ocon going for a move on Yuki Tsunoda for P10, the final point in this race. He manages to get the position. He's up into the final points paying position. Yuki Tsunoda getting dropped right at the last second. But unfortunately, that's not even going to be it for him, as Carlos Sainz is now looking to get past him as well, going on the outside into turn 3 here. He's going to try and keep it around the outside, and sure enough, he's going to get it done. Carlos Sainz up into P11. Yuki Tsunoda dropped 2 places in the matter of like 3 corners or 2 corners, so not great for him, that's for sure. However, this final lap here, we are just trying to keep Giovinazzi behind. And as you can see, Alonso is still there. He may be on the hard tyres, but I feel like I'm starting to feel a little bit of tyre wear now. And Giovinazzi is quicker. So at this current point in time, I'm just absolutely draining my ERS battery, using it as much as I can, trying to block him a little bit. I'm not going to lie, I'm not pushing him around, but I'm blocking him a bit, and we just about managed to claim P3. It is our first podium in this career mode series. Awesome to see, and we're up there with a McLaren and with a Red Bull. So Pierre Gasly gets driver of the day. It was a fun race.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
So Sergio Perez wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix just like he did in real life in the 2021 season. Daniel Ricciardo comes home in an impressive 2nd place, although he was so close to the victory. And we come home in 3rd place for our first of hopefully many podiums in this career mode of ours. So now we've got to go for the win. It's a great finish for our team as well, because Fernando Alonso comes home in 5th place. So that is a massive haul of 25 points for our team. It's Fernando Alonso's first points as well. So hopefully this is the point where Alonso will start scoring consistent points with the team, and he'll be there with me, and it'll be a great battle between us. I really hope so. We move up to P10 in the driver standings, with Alonso up to P13 with those 10 points. Also, Daniel Ricciardo moving up to 5th, Sergio Perez to 3rd, and Giovinazzi to 2nd as Lundgaard falls down the wayside a bit. And yeah, not really a whole lot of other changes there, but we move up to 6th in the Constructors' Championship, which is awesome. Red Bull up to 2nd, and also McLaren up to 5th now as well. So yeah, quite a few changes after this race. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.